What if I told you that one small decision you made today, a decision costing you about $100 a month, could completely determine whether you achieve financial freedom?
Or stay stuck struggling for the rest of your life.
Exactly. And the real kicker here is that this requires absolutely no college degree, no high-paying job, and certainly no trust fund. We are talking about a true democratic path to wealth.
And that hook, it really zeroes in on the core problem our sources identify, which is this pervasive financial fragility.
Right.
We hear about the middle class, but beneath the surface, so many households are just living month to month. Recent data shows the majority of Americans, even people with decent incomes, can't comfortably access even $1,000 in an emergency. They're
$1,000.
trapped, structurally trapped in this earn, spend, repeat cycle. Their income dictates their lifestyle, but there's just zero financial buffer.
Yeah, they have the latest phone, the nice car payment, but the actual foundation is crumbling. So our mission in this deep dive is to look at the simple, often overlooked strategy that provides an escape route.
And it is decidedly unglamorous.
Oh, very unglamorous.
Yeah.
But it leverages three things masterfully: consistency, time, and the absolutely incredible power of compound growth. The secret to building wealth, according to the research, is powerful because it's so boring.
And we can set the first truly surprising fact right up front. The simple act of consistently saving and investing just $100 every single month.
Just 100.
That alone immediately places an individual ahead of over 60% of their peers financially.
Wow.
And it's not the amount that provides the edge. It's the discipline. It's the habit formation that separates you from the vast majority who, just never even begins.
60%. That figure should stop everyone in their tracks.
Hmm.
But, okay, if that $100 monthly contribution is the key, we have to start with the most basic question.
Where does it come from?
Where does it come from? For someone already living paycheck to paycheck, finding an extra $100 can feel like finding a gold bar.
That's the primary psychological barrier. And the sources are very clear on this. For most Americans, that $100 isn't missing, it's just misdirected.
Misdirected, how so?
Well, it's equivalent to maybe 3 dinners out, or it's the accumulated cost of those little impulse purchases, the dozens of small transactions you don't even remember making.
Right.
It demands a fundamental shift. You have to consciously redirect money from immediate consumption toward future wealth building.
And when you're looking for that $100, successful wealth builders usually approach it from two angles at the same time.
Right. You can reduce expenses or you can increase your income.
And combining them is often the fastest way to get there. But let's start with reducing expenses.
Okay, because this is where companies really rely on customer inertia. We're talking about fixed costs, insurance premiums, phone bills, internet services.
All those recurring bills.
Service providers are banking on you just continuing to pay the same rate year after year without ever questioning it.
I found that detail fascinating. We're not talking about deep frugality here. Not really. We're just talking about being strategic.
Exactly.
A few hours shopping around for better auto insurance or making a couple of phone calls to negotiate your internet rate that could easily save you $50 to $100 a month.
One source highlighted that if you contact your cable provider and just ask for the retention department,
The magic words.
they can almost guarantee you a 20% savings right there. They'd rather keep you at a lower rate than lose you completely.
And then there's the subscription epidemic, as the sources call it.
Yeah. We all sign up for free trials, but those recurring charges for streaming platforms, fitness apps you never use, they add up fast.
So you have to do an audit.
A thorough audit. Not just what you use, but what you use consistently. If you cut 3 services that cost $15 each, you're almost halfway to your $100 goal.
But, okay, reducing expenses can feel like a sacrifice, and that can lead to burnout. So let's talk about the other side of the coin, increasing income.
Which offers so much more scalability. And what's compelling is how the modern gig economy has just lowered the barrier to entry for earning an extra $100 a month.
It's not like you have to go get a formal part-time job anymore.
Exactly. You can monetize skills you already have through freelancing, editing, tutoring, graphic design. The emphasis from the research is crystal clear. The specific method matters way less than the commitment to just taking action.
But don't get stuck in analysis paralysis trying to find the perfect side hustle.
Just start doing something that generates income.
Okay, so we found the money, we've established the discipline, now we get to the fun part, the real magic.
Right?
Because once you consistently put that $100 to work in something like a broad market index fund, you stop being a consumer and you start commanding a wealth-generating machine.
This is where the mathematics take over.
Yeah.
And time. time becomes your single greatest employee. Let's look at the numbers. Assuming let's say, a conservative 8% average annual return.
Which is actually less than the historical average for the S&P 500.
It is. So in the short term, over 10 years, your total personal contributions add up to $12,000.
Okay.
Your portfolio grows to approximately $18,000. That means $6,000 is generated purely by your money earning money, by compounding.
And I think that short-term view is where most people make the critical mistake. They see $6,000 over 10 years and think, that's nice, but it's not life-changing.
And they miss the exponential power that's secretly building underneath. They're focused on their linear effort, not the geometric growth.
So what happens if you stick with it?
The real transformation happens when you extend that timeline to, say, a 40-year career. That same $100 a month, consistently invested.
Okay.
Your total out-of-pocket contributions are less than $50,000. $48,000 to be exact.
Over 4 decades.
And that portfolio explodes to over $350,000.
Wow. Wait, hold on. You put in $48,000 and you get back $350,000.
That's it.
That is the aha moment. That means over 85% of that final wealth, more than $300,000, came entirely from compound interest. Not from your labor.
That's why they call it the eighth wonder of the world.
It really is.
Wealthy individuals understand this. There are limits to what you can earn through your job, but there are virtually no limits to what your capital can earn if you just give it enough time.
But let's address a point of confusion for new investors, because those returns, they feel so small at the beginning. It's disheartening.
It is.
If you only have $5,000 invested, an 8% return is just $400 for the whole year. It doesn't feel worth the effort.
That's the most deceptive part of compounding, that initial drag. The early dollar returns are insignificant, which is why so many people quit after a year or two.
But if you hold on.
If you hold on, the growth acceleration begins. As your balance grows, those percentages translate into massive dollar amounts. When your balance hits $100,000, that 8% is $8,000 a year.
And at the $300,000 mark you mentioned.
Your money is generating $24,000 per year. That is a substantial, work-free income stream.
Passive income working for you while you sleep. And that brings us to the cost of delay, which is just critical. I mean, using the historical S&P 500 average, which is over 10%, that $100 contribution could grow to well over $500,000.
It could.
But the difference between starting at age 25 versus waiting until 35, it's not a slight deduction. It is the permanent loss of 10 full years of compound growth.
On every single dollar.
So the math is simple. But as we said, the execution is the challenge. The hardest part isn't the calculation, it's the discipline. Sticking with the plan in a culture that is literally engineered to promote instant gratification.
Spending, consumption, now.
That's an internal battle every single month. Do I invest it or do I use it for that trip, that impulse buy?
So what's the solution?
What our sources highlight as the essential non-negotiable solution here is investment automation.
Automation removes the temptation entirely. You have to set up a system, a monthly recurring transfer from your checking account straight into your investment account.
You treat it like a bill.
An essential bill, the first one you pay when you get paid. It's the mechanical foundation of that fundamental rule. Pay yourself first.
And something fascinating happens psychologically once that automation is in place. It stops feeling like a sacrifice.
Right. It becomes rewarding.
Incredibly rewarding. That growing balance creates this positive feedback loop, and it motivates you to actually look for ways to increase your contributions.
Absolutely. You start channeling tax refunds into the account. Or when you get a raise, you immediately redirect half of it to your investments instead of just spending it all.
It leads to a total reframing of what sources call the cost of consumption.
Let's illustrate that because it's a massive mind shift.
Go for it.
The wealthy realize that every single dollar has the potential to become multiple dollars. So a $100 dinner isn't just $100 now.
No, it's viewed in terms of the hundreds of dollars in lost future growth decades from now.
It creates a new framework for every decision. The financially disciplined person doesn't just ask, can I afford this? They ask, what is the opportunity cost of this purchase over the next 30 years?
And that understanding, it influences everything from buying a coffee to upgrading your car. And that discipline, it transforms you beyond just the balance sheet.
It creates options. Options that simply do not exist for people living paycheck to paycheck.
What kind of options are we talking about?
Well, the true payoff is gaining the power to take calculated risks. Maybe a better job comes along at a smaller company, higher growth potential, but less immediate security.
Most people can't take that leap.
But when you have a growing buffer, you can bet on yourself. Or maybe you need capital for a down payment or to start a side business. These doors only open for those who have built that foundation.
So the goal isn't necessarily saving exactly $100 forever.
No, not at all.
It's about establishing the habit and the mindset that makes building wealth, well, inevitable.
Yeah.
It leads to what you could call lifestyle optimization instead of just lifestyle inflation.
And this is where the snowball effect really kicks in. Once someone successfully maintains that habit for 6 months, a year, they gain this incredible confidence.
And that confidence bleeds into other areas.
Pushes them to optimize everything. They might negotiate a higher salary, find new income streams, pay down high-interest debt. Suddenly, they're not saving $100 a month. They're saving $200, $300.
The momentum becomes undeniable. The moment your account hits a big milestone, 50,000, 100,000, and the monthly growth from the market alone is a 3 or 4 figure number.
It becomes addictive.
Totally addictive. You enter that acceleration phase and you actively look for ways to feed that machine.
And yet, despite how simple the path is, failure is rampant. The source material points to 2 critical mistakes.
Okay.
First, they never start. They wait for the perfect moment, a higher salary, a big lump sum.
Which never comes.
And second, they start, but they quit during the first big market downturn. Their account dips, they panic, and they sell.
You have to see it as a marathon. Consistency over decades is the shield that overcomes that volatility. You just have to ignore the noise and stay automated.
So to summarize the core takeaway from this deep dive, the $100 a month strategy is achievable. It's scalable. And it creates financial options through, yes, the most boring, reliable, and powerful strategies ever discovered.
But it demands patience.
Yeah.
And relentless consistency.
It does. And the final provocative thought for you to consider is this. Your biggest non-renewable financial asset is time.
Time.
Every single month you delay starting this process is a month of potential compound growth that can never, ever be recovered.
The research is clear. The best time to start investing was 20 years ago. But the second best time is absolutely, without question, right now. Go set up that automation.